Finally, I have arrived. For a biologist, the archipelago of the Bisagos Islands is a dream come true, especially if, like me, you are passionate about small creatures which tend to go unnoticed and are hidden from our gaze. I am exploring a labyrinth of 88 islands, of which only 20 are inhabited, among which the Atlantic Ocean recedes at low tide to reveal numerous sandbanks and mudflats. The Bisagos Islands are a part of Guinea-Bissau on the West African coast. They have been recognized by UNESCO as a biosphere reserve. There is no doubt that this is well deserved, as this ecosystem is a veritable natural treasure, owing to the diversity and abundance of its flora and fauna. Indeed, it is considered the second most important area in West Africa for the number and variety of migratory birds which visit it. This is but one example of what the Bisagos Islands have to offer those of us who love wild nature. What I'm looking for now is a species that can be found only here. A unique animal because of how it has adapted itself to the environment in which it lives. Although it is not exactly small. On these islands, where barely 2,000 people live, a local fisherman has just told me the location of one of the few freshwater lakes in the area, so I'm on my way there to see its biodiversity. Here they are. It is really exciting to be able to observe these hippopotamuses, which are unique in the world. This is because they have adapted themselves to live also in salt water. Now they are enjoying this lagoon fed by the rainy season, where they spend the day submerged to protect their delicate skin from the relentless sun. But as the dry season advances, it will gradually dry up. Then these giants will have to move to areas of the island flooded by the tides. They are the only members of their species to have developed this adaptation. Coming to this lagoon has certainly been an excellent idea. Right now I am observing a huge crocodile which must be over 3 meters long and is one of the most impressive creatures in this ecosystem. Provided that the hippopotamuses are not around, because crocodiles do keep their distance from them. I am also watching a large number of birds from many different species. There are African darters, a snake-necked cormorant, sacred ibises, pied kingfishers, several species of herons, many Egyptian geese. Observing the animal's life cycle is truly a great pleasure. Notice this tree with its huge number of weaverbird nests. I'm going to get closer to see it properly. The males of this species trust that they will be successful in attracting one or several females by offering them an attractive nest. During the breeding season, each male bird will build several nests, which the female will examine conscientiously before accepting. She will choose one in which to lay her eggs. While she takes care of feeding the chicks, the male will protect the nests from the intrusion of other males. Given the number of neighbours who crowd the colony and are equally zealous in defending their territory, this is no simple matter. We have picked this one up from the ground. Just look at the amazing nest this bird builds. The male collects grass and interweaves it to make this structure of veritable natural engineering. Notice how it is perfectly secured to this branch. Moreover, the entrance is constructed below to prevent predators from reaching the eggs or chicks. Even so, many animals manage to capture them. I move away from the weaverbird colony through one of the most important ecosystems of the Bisagos Islands, the Savannah. Many of the paths which allow me to pass these walls of vegetation are the result of the passage of the hippopotamuses. When the sun goes down, it will be these giants who take possession of these trails. They will abandon the lagoon to feed. Although during the day they remain in groups, during the night they scatter on the savannah in search of the between 30 and 50 kilos of food an adult individual is capable of devouring in a night. This feast sometimes includes the crops of the inhabitants of the small villages dotted around the island. We always imagine that amphibians live in very humid habitats, but there are also some species on the savannah which have managed to adapt to this extreme arid environment, such as this tree frog. When the hottest weather arrives, it buries itself and generates around itself a layer of mucus so as to maintain its humidity throughout this period. A much more extreme adaptation to the arid climate is shown by this beautiful West African reed frog, which spends the whole of the dry season motionless on a branch, waiting for the rainy season. In order to achieve this adaptation, the species has developed several strategies. It shrinks as much as it can and covers itself with a mucus substance which literally seals its body. This not only secures it to the branch, but also reduces water loss. When the temperature exceeds 39 degrees centigrade, its skin turns white thanks to uric acid crystals which reflect the sunlight. In this way, the frog can hold out for several months and withstand a water loss of up to 50% of their weight. We've just found this osprey in distress because, on diving to catch its prey, no doubt too large a fish, it has wet its feathers and now cannot take off. It was swimming in the middle of the mangrove swamp and we have caught it in order to dry it out and place it on a branch. I hold it carefully but at the same time firmly, so that it doesn't hurt itself if it tries to break free. And also because it has some pretty formidable arguments in favour of making me the injured party. Finally, we find a good place to leave it. Here it is protected from direct sunlight where its plumage dries. This is also a good location from which it can take flight and once again patrol the skies of the Bisagos Islands with its companions. The mangrove swamp is another of the major ecosystems of these islands. I penetrate into a hazy territory with no clear division between land and water. This environment is as extraordinary as the animal and plant species which live in it. The mangrove swamp is also a place where the Bisago people find food. In particular, the mollusks they gather from the roots of the mangroves which they reach in their traditional canoes.